What's up guys, my name is Alois, and in this guide I'll show you how a pro player plays the Fiora matchup. I'll cover everything I'm thinking about during my laning phase, such as wave states, jungle interaction and item purchases. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and leaving a like, and comment down below what matchup you would like to see next. Alright, let's dive into it. The Fiora matchup is probably one of the most common matchups you'll face, as it's quite a hard matchup for Riven. It is a skill matchup. However, it's Fiora favorite because you always have to play around her W. The way I approach this matchup is very aggressive from level 1. I will always start longsword plus 3 potions in this matchup, whereas Fiora players will almost always start Doran's Blade, as you can see in this game as well. With this in mind, at level 1, my first goal is to try and get the push so I can get my level 2 first. The problem that you face if Fiora gets level 2 first is that she can really start abusing you on every last hit that you go for and look to proc vitals. Whereas if you get the level 2 first, you can actually gain an edge, because any losing matchup becomes winning if you get your level 2 first, right? Now, very often fighting for the level 2 first will cost you HP, but this is where the longsword and 3 potions come into place, because as long as we do somewhat equal health trades, or maybe even some slightly losing trades, it's fine because we have 3 potions and she only has 1. So it's alright in that sense. Now, I first want to show you 2 examples where I face really aggressive Fiora players and show you how I deal with that at level 1. So alright, let's get into it. Going into lane, I'm trying to walk with the means because, as I said, I want to try and get the wave at level 1 starting to push towards her, right? She starts in lane as well. So okay, Vital's on top of me, that's a nice Vital, she's looking to proc it, I have space just outside, very simple, right? So okay, Q is off cooldown. First thing I'm going to do is try and just hit the wave, right? As I said, my sole goal is to try and get the level 2 first. Okay, Vital above, she contests this, I get her bone plating. Equal health trade here, right? That's fine, I get her bone plating out, I use my potion. Now, my Q is off cooldown, so I obviously can't contest her, I get a Vital at the front again, so I have to back off. I space just outside it, and now, yeah, still have to space a bit outside. Her Q is coming back up, but it's okay. My Q is coming back up as well. So, she's gonna look for the Vital, I don't go for the last hits, I trade back, my auto attack goes through, I have vision in the bush. She attempts it, she is looking to all in here, right? So I see the Vital spawning at the top here. I instantly hug the wall here. I don't give her the Vital, and because of this, I actually end up winning. She uses her flash as well, perfect. So this is just one example of how I can deal with these super aggressive Fiora level 1s. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, so this time around we're playing against the Fiora that is running Ghost and TP. Again, she has a deep blade start, doesn't really change anything. I'm still gonna look to just play very aggressive early on, right? So I see the Lee Sin starting rep off with the Fiora actually leashing. That gives me free access to the wave level 1, so I'll gladly take that. I start pushing. My Kindred is looking for a steal. But yeah, we get the priority here. I even use my Q just so that I get the wave pushing. Alright, I get the wave in. Fiora even lost a minion of XP here. She comes into lane, I get the Vital at the back, which is very nice for me, right? She instantly Qs in, very aggressive, right? I get my Q back, so I'm looking for the trade here. If the trade were to end here, or let's say right here, this would be a perfect equal health trade, right? Because, yeah, we trade equal health, I have 3 potions, she has 1, I'm very happy here. I instantly pop my potion, and she's looking to continue here, so I do 1 more auto attack, I step back, and I instantly Q like this, knocking her back, dealing some damage, cancelling her out of her auto attack. Then I ignite on her Ghost, and here, honestly, yeah, it's already over. She gets the Vital, it doesn't really matter. I just flash you to be safe. I think this was her making a mistake rather than me doing something really special, because yeah, I had Ignite against Ghost, but still, this is a good way to see how you can deal with these like super aggressive Fiora players. Alright, now I want to show you one more trick that you can do against Fiora before we head into the full vote. So, for trade patterns against Fiora, as I said, right, you always have to play around her W. Now, a very cool trick you can consistently use against Fiora is use your 3rd Q on top of her and then E sideways to get out of the repose. So let's take a look at this, right? So I'm Q delaying right here, I'll start my first Q. I do my 2nd Q right here. And now I look to Q onto her, right? She reposes it because it's very talent grab, she can always repose it. And then I dash sideways, getting out of it. You can always do this. So let's keep playing this out, right? So she has no W right now. My abilities are coming back up. She Qs me in, just in turret range. I get the stun instantly. She flashes out, it's already too late, 1 shot. There you go, right? So that's a very cool way that you can always play around the Fiora W. Alright, now that we get all that out, let's start heading into the vote and see how we can do this consistently. Alright, so for the full game here, we're playing against the Fiora with Flash Ignite and Grasp. And as you guys know by now, what I like to do every game is to try and get a late ward on enemy buff spawn so I know what jungle pathing they'll be taking, right? So I will just leave my ward here and leave. Very nice. So now I know that Evelyn is pathing from top to bot, whereas my Zac is also pathing top to bot, meaning we're on isolation for the first 4 waves of this laning phase, right? The Fiora is leashing. As I stated before, this is kind of a mistake by the Fiora. She should be trying to contest the wave here with me. She isn't, so that gives me free priority, right? And I'll gladly take that. So I get the priority here for free. Very nice. So I even use my Q. Okay, the Fiora comes to lane. RNG, you get the Vital at the back again. So she can't really play aggressive. And yeah, here you see as well, right? The wave is so big, so this is perfect for me. Alright, I use my Q here. I need 1 melee minion to get my level 2, which is what I'm looking to play for. I get my level 2 here, and she walks up. Bad timing by her, use my W, right, and get a decent trade-off. It's an equal health trade, but it's all good, right? So this is, you know, try and always do this. Whenever you're getting close to a level up, right, you need 1 more minion, try to play for it, right? She dashes for it, I instantly pop my W, boom, nice trade. She gets a Vital, so the trade is relatively even, but if she didn't get the Vital, this trade would look much, much better. Alright, the wave is already pushing very hard, so I'm just gonna look to get a second wave crash here. Maybe I can get another trade in if she goes for a last hit. Okay, I get my W back. I'll look for it, but she spaces me nicely with her Q, so props to her, and I get the wave in. So, very nice. Alright, now let's take a look here. Okay, so, one thing that's very important, right? 2 melee minions will give me my level 3, similar to her. So, here we just have to play for the priority again and try and get our level 3 first. So, I'm gonna start hitting again. Okay, she's doing the same thing, I'm doing my Q. I think this is a terrible W by her. I guess she was scared of my movement walking up here, right? I'm walking up, but yeah, I think this is just a terrible W. And I'll instantly look to play towards it, because here, this minion is gonna give me level 3. I dash forward, I don't go for the last hit. I use my dash to go forward, the minion finishes it off. I get my level 3, and there we get a very nice trade, right? So always try and do this whenever you need a level, or whenever you're getting a level up. Play for it immediately, right? And that's how you can force some really nice trades, and this is why we're looking to get this priority, guys. So yeah, get the priority, get your level up first, and look for nice trades. Alright, her W is still on cooldown right now, because she used it, so let's check it. I think it's around like a 20-second cooldown that early game, so she's used it, where did she use it? 246, right? So 246, 247, so like 20 seconds. So right here in game I also sense her W is right now still on cooldown. She walks up, I go for it completely. Her W is probably here, like, it's probably coming up, like, right now, right? But she walked up a little bit too fast. I sense this in-game, like, I'm not a robot or something. I just had a feeling it wasn't up yet. She walked up, I punished her. That's all there is to it. She uses her flash, I use my ignite. Very, very nice for me here, right? So yeah, that's a perfect trade in the early game. She used her potion. I still have 1 potion left in my inventory and 1 potion running. So yeah, this is already very, very good for me. I E forward to try and bait her W. She falls for it. Very nice. So now she has no W again. And just looking to try and deny her last hits here. That's all I'm trying to do here. So every time she would look to go for a last hit here, I'm definitely gonna punish. I'm not trying to hard push her here, because the longer this wave plays out like this, the more trouble the Fiora is in, right? She has no flash, she has no W, so I could even look for a kill here. Okay, she uses her E. Right now I'm looking for a trade. Very nice trade pattern here. This trade pattern is always good to melee champions, right? It's just very simple. You do QW, auto attack, EQ out, and there's barely any counterplay for her here. Now, if she had W, you're obviously not going to do this trade pattern into Fiora, but since her W is down here, this is a perfect trade pattern to use. And now she has no potion left. I use my last potion even just to stay full HP, and she's probably looking to recall, right? Because yeah, now she's very low HP and she's even in kill range. So she decides to recall. I push out the wave. I get a 800 gold reset, which is very nice. And as you know by now, I'm looking to get a D-Blade on most of my first resets whenever I'm going longsword 3, especially because this wave is bouncing back into me, so I want to try and get as strong of stats that I can possibly get. So I go for the longsword and the D-Blade here. She only has 14 farmer recall, and also misses a ton of XP. I just know that right now that she's gonna have less items than me, but I'm also going to spike faster on my level up, right? So this is something that is always very important to track. So okay, she comes back with a longsword and refillable. I don't have potions, but that's okay. So here, since both junglers path to bot, I'm looking to go for the scuttle. But my Zac ends up coming too. I pinged that, but the Fiora doesn't have flash, as we know. Yeah, guys, I'm a team player like that. I'll give away the scuttle. Okay, so this Fiora doesn't have flash. I ping it again, so that my Zac can look to go for the gank here. So right here, I'm looking to try and see if I can bait her in, right? Bait out her W. So I'm using my third Q even into her right here. She could repose this, right? And it would be bad for me, but I would never die here. I still have my flash, and I could just bait the Fiora to go in here. She still does fall for it, because I used all my Qs. She walks forward, she gets her level 5, she feels safe trading. She's not really respecting my jungle, however, and she has no flash. So yeah, now she gets punished, and we kill her on the bounce, which is perfect, right? So now, we get the kill. Two things we, I guess, have to ask ourselves here. If Fiora comes back right now, do you feel like we can lane without potions and this HP? The answer is no. So I guess we have two options. We could either look to hard push this wave out, but our abilities are on cooldown. So I go for option 2 here. I thin out the wave a little bit so that this wave will still push towards me and this next wave can catch up the phrase right here, right? So I thin it out a little bit, get myself a little bit of a better recall too. There we go. It's still pushing towards me, and now we look for a reset again. So, very nice. Here I go for call fields and refillable, and I prioritize refillable over boots here because I want to keep trying to just, you know, permanently fight with this Fiora, and I think potions in the early game are extremely strong to just try and, yeah, enforce this gameplay. So, this is very good. I opt for the potions, and I'm instantly running back towards this frozen wave state. Now, as I said, she's used, or she's missed XP on her turret here. She's missing XP on the wave here, meaning we're going to spike much, much faster towards our level 6, right? So I'm definitely going to try and look to play for that. Our Ignite is coming back up too. She still has no flash, so let's see how we make use of that. So I'm delaying my Q here. She goes away, so yeah, the wave's just free here. I'm definitely going to try and keep the wave in this pocket, because whenever the wave is here, it just allows me to play much more greedy with my cooldowns, because if this Fiora was to ever hit a W onto me, I'm so close to my turret, so she can never really progress hard into me, right? So whenever you're playing into this pocket, it's always very, very nice. And it's hard for the Fiora because she has no ranged form of trying to push in this wave, so she is forced to walk up for every last hit that she goes for, allowing me to get some nice trade windows. So she goes into me here. I'm trying to do the trick where I use my Q3 and then Eing sideways, right? But yeah, she gets a little stroke as well, and W's the other way. That happens, I guess. But I still have my E to dash sideways, right? Which was the trick I'm trying to do here. Okay, so now I see I'm very close to level 6. I get her bone plating out. Okay, she gets a pretty good trade into me back, but it's okay. I'm just playing from a level 6 here. Now I use all my 3 Qs to try and bait her in. I get the level 6, she Qs in. Yeah, she just fell for it. And now she's just dead. I have my Ignite coming back up. I have my ult. And yeah, she's just dead. Very simple after this. Evelynn is bot. I don't even have to be careful about enemy jungle, so I can just push in this wave. Fiora respawns right now, but I'm still a bit off my Iron Spike whip right here, so I decide to temp my, or to use my tempo a little bit here to get the plate for my Iron Spike whip. And there we go, we get a whip plus a pink ward, also very good against the Evelynn, right? And now again this wave is bouncing back into me, but it's a bit hard to contest the Fiora right now, even though I have a very big item lead, right? She only has 2 long swords and I have these items. I am going to wait till at least my ultimate ability before I really hard contest her, because right now she has her ult, she has Ignite, her flash is back up too, so now I'm playing I have to play a little bit more safe up until my cooldowns come back up. So as you see right here, I'm not going to be looking to like full aggress onto her, right? Some small trades is fine, but I'm never going to be using all my abilities onto her and looking for an all-in here. Okay, my Zac kills the Evelynn, so right now the Fiora is a little bit like mentally pressured by my jungle still being topside. So yeah, that puts me in a better spot as well, of course. I'm Q delaying, trying to see if she will fall for it. She doesn't. Front Vital, of course, are always very annoying, so I just have to, yeah, space. Oh, she gets it. Unfortunate. 40 seconds for my ultimate though, so I'm trying to keep the wave state like more in this position. Q delaying again. Okay, she gets a trade in. I'm trying to bait out her W. She doesn't use it. Again here, right? I'm looking to do the same thing. I'm using my Q and trying to Q onto her. And if she uses her W here, I can just E sideways, right? That's what I'm always trying to do to bait out her W. She doesn't fall for it, so okay. I keep it up then. My ultimate's coming back up now. So now I can look to trade back. She doesn't use her W still. Now she uses her W, but I just timed it with my ult. There you go. Perfect timing. Dead. Gone. Game over for her. Yeah, I mean, she's 44 CS right now, right? I have 70 CS, I'm 3-0. This lane phase is completely over. So yeah, I hope to have shown you guys some new insights on how to consistently beat this matchup. It's a tricky one, but that also makes it a fun one. And I wish you the best of luck right now in hopping into your solo queue games and beating the Fiora matchup. Alright, that's it for me for this one. Peace.